this week, the Duke of Sussex was told that a trial can now go ahead against the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday to look into claims that the papers unlawfully obtained information about him and other celebrities. Associated newspapers wanted to stop the case, and their argument was that claims of getting information by deception were out of time, and the publishers strongly denied the allegations as preposterous. However, the judge said a trial could go ahead. But that isn't Harry's only court battle, is it, Stephen?
Oh no, certainly isn't. Prince Harry at the centre of 5 high-profile legal battles, with a whole host of celebrities actually joining him as he continues to wage war against the British tabloids. Well, Harry is joined by 7 high-profile people, including Sir Elton John, in bringing legal action against the publisher of the Daily Mail. Now they, as Anne was saying, firmly deny any allegations, including hiring private investigators to put listening devices in cars and accessing recordings of private phone calls, all that sort of thing. Now, Harry and the actor Hugh Grant, there he is, suing the publisher of The Sun and the now defunct News of the World over alleged phone hacking, which, again, the publisher denies. Now, in a rare royal event, Harry was in a High Court witness box, wasn't he? You remember that? In the trial of his damages claim against the publisher of the Daily Mirror, the Sunday Mirror and the Sunday People. The publisher denying hacking, and a verdict on that is expected pretty soon. But in July last year, Harry secured a judge's permission to pursue legal action against the Home Office, of all things. Now, that was over security arrangements for himself and, of course, his family when they're here in the UK.
Well, joining us now is reporter and journalist Sarah-Louise Robertson. A very good morning to you. There you are. Hello.
Morning to you.
Can you explain what has been happening up till now with Prince Harry and his various court cases?
Well, this is it. This is the pampered prince, the prince of privilege, as I call him, who's launched what I say is another fishing exercise into the British press. He's basically trying to see if he can sort of flush out any evidence, as he claims, of being hacked or having stories written about him, which he basically didn't like at the time. And we've seen with what happened with the Daily Mirror phone hacking case earlier in summer that actually it was just based on feelings and there was no facts whatsoever. And during the 3 hours of testimony in which Harry went into court and spoke, that actually he absolutely gave no evidence whatsoever in the Daily Mirror case of anything to sort of substantiate his allegations against them into phone hacking. He even admitted in that court case that he wanted to flush out evidence in court. So he actually didn't have any evidence. And during that appearance, it was laughable, really, because he said, I don't know, no fewer than 18 times, because he didn't remember 9 times. And then he bounced questions back to his very, very, very expensive barrister, who also happens to be Elton John's very, very, very expensive barrister. And obviously he's very close friends with Elton John, Sir Elton John, shall I say. So he did that 4 times. So it's just so interesting that he's even willing to put himself through all that humiliation again. But he is. And it really does stick, Anne, because, as I say, this is a man who is living in great privilege, who is in self-imposed exile, and he's not living in a rough and tumble place. He's living in California, the state of California, which has a better performing economy than the whole of the United Kingdom. So it's not like he's doing badly. And there he is with his A-list friends, and he's just very woke. It's all about his woke politics, about appeasing his woke friends. And as I say, he just wants to have a go at the press. It's all about feelings. It's not about facts with Harry. And he has become something of a puppet as well for this activist group Hacked Off, which is run by another A-list friend, Hugh Grant of all people, who's had it in for the press since he was caught seeing a prostitute all those years ago by the News of the World and has never got over it, the fact that he was outed in the way he was. So Harry's almost become their puppet and their figurehead for all these rich A-listers who don't want anything ever written about them at all in the press that might be inconvenient or they might not like.
I'll tell you what, though, Sarah, look, they may be well off. Maybe there's an element of woke about it all and all the rest of it. But it doesn't mean they're not entitled to some level of protection, that they're not entitled not to have their phone hacked or their bins rifled through or anything else.
Well, yes, of course. There was practices done many years ago, which aren't, that not adhered to this day. But what I'm trying to say is there's a difference between that and press intrusion. And really, what Harry's trying to do is he just wants to shut down the press altogether. He wants a completely positive press where nothing is ever written about him that could be in any way negative. This is, I say, about feelings and not facts. That's the way he wants to go. And if he starts getting his own way, he's got this real bee in his bonnet that he wants to do. And if he starts getting his own way, who knows where it's going to lead? Because a story that he thinks is inconvenient to him, he doesn't want to see out there. And this is where we're going with this. And as I say, he's become this sort of puppet head, this sort of figurehead for this group hacked off.
Yeah, but there's
his status.
But there's forgive me, Sarah, but there's no way with this, you can't stop things being written about you that are negative if they're true. But it's about stuff being written that's negative that is not true. And that would be a problem for any of us.
Yes, but look, that's, you can't, you're splitting hairs there, aren't you?
Oh, no, I'm not.
There's always truth to everything that's written. There's always truth to everything that's written. And there's a big difference with what Harry's doing. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's just about his privilege. And I think the British people have got more sense and they can see what's going on here, reading between the lines. Also, remember as well with Prince Harry, if he's going on about intrusion into people's lives. Well, look what he's done with his book Spare. Did his father, the king, and his wife, Queen Camilla, did they ask for that intrusion that Harry brought into their lives when he went on Oprah Winfrey, introduced the royal family in the way that he did, and introduced his father and his stepmother, Camilla, in his autobiography? No, they didn't ask for that. So this is what I'm saying. There's hypocrisy from Harry. It's do as I say, not say as I do. He feels he's entitled to say and do what he likes when he chooses. But when it comes to anyone else saying anything about him that might not be 100% positive or glowing, then it's straight there, get a barrister. Anyway, it'll all just be thrown out of court. The same it was with what went on with the Mirror. And I'm amazed he's actually putting himself through it again. But he is.
OK, Sarah Robertson, got to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. I've got to say, I mean, that's Sarah's point of view, and you may well agree with it. I think there's, you can see why the sort of hypocrisy arguments and all the rest of it. However, there is a substantial difference between, recounting your thoughts about something as about another family member compared to someone intruding into your privacy.
And it's not just about privacy, it's about the means by which they obtained any information. And so if they've hacked phones, that's an illegal act.
And if whether you like Harry or not, whether you think he's woke or not, whether you think he's hypocritical or not, is actually beside the point when it comes to enforcing the law of the land. But maybe it will all be thrown out, as Sarah says.
Yeah, but it hasn't been thus far. That's the point, is yesterday the judge decided that there was enough of a case to go to trial.